Hello and welcome in this video lecture series. Today we are going to discuss about ARP and RARP. So ARP means Address Resolution Protocol. As name implies, it is related to address resolution. In computer networks, we have two types of addresses. First is IP address and second is MAC address. So ARP is used to get a MAC address when we know the IP address. Means in order to get a MAC address from its IP address, ARP is used. So suppose we have a host A and it wants to send a message to B. Now B could be present in the same network or in a different network. So how we can identify whether B is present in the same network where A is present or B is present in a different network? We have discussed this concept already in IP addressing. Here we are going to use network mask to identify whether this host B is present in the same network or in a different network. By using network mask of this host A, we will perform the AND operation of IP address for this host B, and with this network mask we are going to perform AND operation with the IP address of this host A. So by performing this AND operation, we will get the network ID of host A and host B. If these two network IDs are same, means B is present in the same network. If this network ID is different, it implies that B is in a different network. So suppose here we are considering B is present in the same network. Here we have a host A, here it is B. So from OSI structure we know that if there is a network layer, upper side transport layer will be there and at the bottom data link layer presents. So in the heart of network layer, a protocol called IP is there. Position of this ARP, address resolution protocol, in this network layer is below this IP. As we know that upper layer always used to get the support from bottom layer. So here we can understand IP is going to take the support of ARP in order to forward its packet from network layer to data link layer. Means segment will be coming from transport layer to this IP. After that, this IP layer is going to forward it to this ARP and this ARP will forward the same to this data link layer. So this is the actual process how this ARP comes into the picture. So suppose we have a segment and transport layer. When this segment will be forwarded to this network layer, at this network layer we are going to add IP addresses of the source and destination. So here IP address of source is A. Suppose A is having IP address IA and IP address of B is IB. So this IP address part will be played by this internet protocol and these information will be added as a IP header. IP header. In the IP header there are various fields are also available, but here we are taking these two to discuss ARP. So now this data and this complete header is going to act as a data for data link layer. Means in this frame this datagram will be forwarded. So in order to forward this datagram to this data link layer, it will be forwarded via ARP. Means suppose this is the datagram, here it is source IP IA and its destination IP IB. In order to get the MAC address, as it is at the source end, so this source know very well its own MAC address, it is MA, but this source does not know the MAC address of the destination because this destination may be present in the same network or in a different network. And in order to deliver the message in a single hop, MAC address is required. Always remember that when a host is in the same network, then there will be hop to hop delivery. Even if it is in some different network, In that case also message will travel hop to hop. So in both the cases, whether this destination is present in the same network or in a different network, your message is going to deliver hop to hop. And in order to deliver hop to hop, MAC address is always required. So to get the MAC address of this destination, here ARP is going to play its role. As we know, destination IP address only. So here we need to get MAC address by knowing its IP address only. So before preparing this frame, this sender will prepare ARP request in order to get MAC address of destination. So in ARP request, it will prepare a packet. In that packet, it is going to mention that I know IP address of B, but I don't know its MAC address. So this is ARP request will be prepared like in this way. IP address of B we know, but we don't know its MAC address. And this request packet will be forwarded to B. Before forwarding this packet to the B, it is going to mention its own MAC address as a source MAC address, because B will reply on this address only. In hop to hop delivery, MAC address is required. So that is why here source is mentioning its own MAC address. While here in a destination MAC address, again it is unknown. In order to get this MAC address only, we are preparing this request. But without knowing the MAC address of that host, how this packet will be forwarded to this destination? So without knowing the MAC address of the destination, if we want to forward that packet, we are going to use a concept called broadcasting. So as a destination MAC address, here we are going to mention broadcast address, means all the bits are 1. So this address will be present here. So when this packet will be forwarded on this network, all the hosts present in this network will be able to listen this request. There are some other hosts will also be present in this network. So all these hosts will able to see this request, but only B is going to reply because it is intended for B only. We have already mentioned the IP address of destination. So in ARP request, by looking the IP address, this destination, which is B, will understand, oh, a host A having MAC address MA already knows my IP address, but it is looking for my MAC address. So now this B is going to prepare ARP reply. So in order to prepare this ARP reply, this source will mention its IP address and its MAC address. Also, in order to send this packet from this host B to A, in this local hop, it is going to mention source physical address. Here source is B, so it is MB, and destination's physical address or MAC address. So destination's MAC address is MA. How this host will get this destination's MAC address? It was already present in this request. So now this host exactly know the MAC address of its destination. So this reply will be unicast to this host A. So always remember that in ARP request is a broadcast request, while ARP reply is always unicast. So when this packet will reach to its destination, that is at this source A, it will receive the MAC address of its destination whose IP address is IB. After getting the MAC address of this destination, here it will use this destination's MAC address in order to prepare the frame at data link layer. So some important points in ARP protocol is that it is used to resolve address from IP to MAC. When we know IP address of a host, in order to get its MAC address, ARP protocol is used. Second point is ARP request is always a broadcast request, while in case of ARP reply, it is always unicast. And ARP is used to get when we have a host or source A and we have some destination B. So ARP will be used by a host to know the MAC address of a router. Why this host want to know the MAC address of this router? It is when the destination is not present in the same network. Then datagram will have to travel via some routers in order to reach its destination. So in that case, this source will forward its datagram to this default router. In order to forward its datagram to this default router, MAC address of this router need to know. Next, ARP can be used by a router to know the MAC address of other router, or ARP can be used to know the MAC address via router to a host. And one more possibilities is there. When these two systems are in the same network, then ARP can be used by a host to know the MAC address of other host. Means ARP is used by a host to know the MAC address of other host. It can be used by a host to know the MAC address of a router. It can be used by a router to know the MAC address of other router, and it can be used by a router to know the MAC address of other host. So these are the four possibilities where ARP is used. Now let's talk about RARP. RARP stands for Reverse Address Resolution Protocol. So we can understand RARP as a reverse of ARP. Reverse of ARP means RARP is used to get an IP address through its MAC address. Means knowing the MAC address, if we want to know associated IP address, then this RARP is going to use. So again we can understand here it by this layering structure. Suppose we have a network layer. So in the heart of network layer there is a protocol called Internet Protocol. The position of RARP is below to this IP. So ARP also we have seen it is below to this IP. So actually ARP and RARP both lies below to this IP. It's a transport layer, this is data link layer. Now the question is that when will be the case when we will be knowing the MAC address of a host but we will not know the IP address. So many of the hosts they don't have hard disk, so files are going to be saved in NFS. Sometimes it is happens that there are number of hosts present in a network but they don't have their own hard disk. Instead of having their own hard disk, they used to store all the files in a central server called NFS. Maybe you have seen in your library where you have saved your work in a system, and after some time when you will go there and sit on other computer system, then you will find all those data on that system also. So it really does not mean that you have saved your file in all the system. Actually, it is using a central server. From there you are accessing your file, and it can be accessed from any computer system, because these computer systems are not using any hard disk of their own. They are using a central server. So these systems are like memory-less system. Memory-less means they are like Ghajini. In Ghajini, you know that actor cannot memorize any information for a long time. After a short period of time, all the information is going to vanish. The only information which is present on their body, that is tattoo, it is able to see only that information, and from that information, and by using the information stored in this tattoo, he tries to get all other information. So same way in our computer system also we have two types of memory. One is called RAM, which is a temporary or volatile memory, and other is ROM, which is permanent. Why it is permanent? Because ROM is associated with NIC, with network interface card. So through this network interface card only, ROM is also associated with MAC address or physical address. Means physical address is always permanent, while RAM is a volatile memory, and IP addresses are used to store in this RAM only. So in case of when system does not have any hard disk, the next time when you are going to start the system, this information will not be there, only MAC address will be present. So this is the one case where a system knows its MAC address but it does not know IP address of its own. Other case also possible, suppose you have added a system first time in this network. In that case also this system will be required to have an IP address. So these are some cases where we need to get an IP address via its MAC address. So how this system is going to request for an IP address through its MAC address? Let's see. Suppose here we have a system, say it is A, and it is knowing its MAC address only. Now the thing is that to whom it is going to ask its IP address. So there will be a server called RARP server. This RARP server is going to maintain a list of MAC addresses and the IP addresses associated with it. So it has complete list, and this list is static. Means each and every time whenever any system will ask its IP address, this RARP server will going to check and assign the corresponding IP address to that particular host. So these are different MAC address having different IPs. So suppose this is the source having physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer. As RARP belongs to network layer only, so in order to get the IP address from its MAC, this RARP request will be prepared by this network layer, its RARP request. So in this request, it is going to mention its MAC address, that is MA, but it does not know its IP. So here it is going to mention 0, 0, 0 and 0. So all 0 represents I don't know my IP address. What does it mean? I don't know my IP address. As IP is used to get the support from RARP, so RARP request will be prepared as it's a MAC and its IP address, that is I don't know my IP address, and this packet we are going to forward to RARP server. Before forwarding this packet, it is going to mention source MAC address, that is MA. and MAC address of destination is, again, it does not know anything else. It is only knowing its MAC address. That's it. So here this host is not able to remember its own IP. So obviously it does not know RARP server's MAC address also. If it is able to memorize the MAC address of RARP, it can memorize its own IP address also. So why all these things are required? All these things are required because it is only knowing its MAC address, that's it. So in order to forward this request to RARP server, again it is going to use the broadcast address. So this broadcast address will forward this packet to all the hosts present in this network. So this request will be listened by all the hosts present in this network. Obviously this router will not going to allow this request to go in some other interface. So this is the responsibility of router. It will keep this request in this network only. This is not going to happen. So in this network, all the hosts going to listen this request, but as it is RARP request, so only RARP server is going to reply. In order to reply, RARP server will check the MAC address. Suppose here is an entry MA. So it will take the IP address associated with its MAC and is going to prepare the reply. That is, this is the MAC address of A and it is associated IP in its record. And this information will be forwarded to this host A. In order to forward this request, this RARP server is going to mention its own MAC address, that is MR, as a source MAC address, and in a destination MAC address it is going to mention MAC address of A. How it will knows these information? Actually this RARP server knows very well its own MAC address, and this destination MAC address will be obtained from this RARP request. And here we can see we have mentioned a unicast address. So this RARP reply will be a unicast reply. So it will be forwarded as a unicast reply. So this is how this RARP works. Always remember that nowadays this RARP is not used. It's an obsolete technology. In the late 1980s it was in use, but today in order to get the IP address, BOOTP or DHCP are in use. So this is obsolete technology now. So why it is obsolete? What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages are, suppose this router is having some other networks also. So in order to use this RARP protocol, in each and every network there should have an RARP server. In each and every network it is required, because a host in this network cannot request to the RARP server present in some other network due to this router. Router does not allow us to get the request from some other network and go to this RARP server. So this is the reason. So for each and every network there will have an RARP server. Other thing is that this RARP server is going to maintain a static record. Means for each system, suppose there is a host A, other host is B, and they have IP address MA and MB, it is going to associate a static IP address with this host. So disadvantage is that even if you are using half of the system at a time, those half IP address will not be in used. Suppose there is an organization having 100 computer system. At a time only 50 computers are in use, like day shift and night shift is there. So if we are going to use this RARP server, it will link all 100 IP addresses with 100 computer system. Even if 50 computers are not in use, this static IP address cannot be assigned to other computer. So this is another disadvantage of this RARP. But now it's obsolete technology. We are using DHCP and BOOTP in order to get the IP address. So that's all about RARP protocol. Thanks for watching.